Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do something a little bit different. It's still going to be a plan with me, but I figured since I did start my passion planner a little bit late and I have this whole first week empty, I thought it would be a fun plan with me to do a 7 different planner styles that you can use in your passion planner, because sometimes that's the hardest part. Everyone has such a different planner style, especially if you're new to passion planner or planning in general. You start looking on Instagram or the Facebook groups or anywhere and you're like, where in the world do I even start? Well, here's a good video to give you some ideas on different planner styles that are out there. It's kind of weird because everyone definitely plans very differently, and I'm trying to categorize them and give them a technical term when there really isn't necessarily technical terms for these. So just kind of go with it for a minute while we figure this out together. But I thought it would just be fun to show you the different planner styles that are out there and kind of recreate them all here, since there are 7 different days, and you can kind of decide what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna start off a little bit more basic and then get a little bit more decorative as we go, or at least that's my plan. It's always one of those things that once you start filming, anything is possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm actually gonna grab 2 just Happy Planner sticker books to stick under the cover right here, because like I've said in my past videos, I like this to just be solid. So those are gonna stick right there. I'm gonna put the little elastic back on this guy so it doesn't get in the way. And let's flip to that first week. So the first planner style is just a simple time blocking system, which when you open your passion planner, it's probably the most common planner style, specifically since the passion planner does have an hourly timeline. People are like, oh, time blocking, boom. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a pen. One of the popular pens are these Muji gel pens. This is a 0.38 size. I prefer really fine tipped pens. That's just my preference. You do what feels right to you. And I have just a basic schedule, and I'm just gonna copy the same schedule throughout the whole week, but just show you the different planner styles. Then I don't know, we'll see how it turns out. This might turn out really cool. It might be just a total disaster. We won't know. So time blocking is exactly what you think it is. You're blocking off chunks of time, specific appointments, if you're in school, classes, if you're at work, working. I said appointments, meetings, you know, whatever it is you need to get done. Usually they're pretty just generic, at least to start off with, and then you can start adding colors and stickers and doing whatever. But it's a good place to start when you're new to passion planner. So let's just kind of do a basic one. Hold on, I have a lot of rulers, and there's one ruler that I really like for time blocking, and so I'm gonna try this one. Okay. One little note, at least just personal opinions here. If you do block things out, I recommend making the rectangles a little bit skinnier width-wise. It just tends to look a little bit more appealing instead of going right from the gray line to the gray line. That's just my planner advice, and that's why I like this ruler, because it fits really nicely and I can kind of see where I want my boxes. Okay, so this is my basic outline for time blocking. Again, you just fill in the boxes with what you did, and there's your basic time. So you can kind of see how your day is planned out. It definitely is a good method for, again, if you're a student or if you have, you know, a lot of appointments or meetings or whatever. Since I work from home, time blocking isn't really a method that I use because my days really fluctuate depending on what I need to get done. And a lot of my days just filled with work, and I feel like just blocking out a whole section that says work is kind of wasted space for me. I definitely am more of a to-do list planner, so you'll see that layout further out, but this is just a good example of what time blocking looks like. So a next step in time blocking is color coding. This is really good for if you're a parent, you know, keeping track of the different kids. I mean, it's a great method for really a handful of things. If you're a student, your different classes, I mean, anything and everything. It's just a great way to kind of see how your day is going to plan out, and it also keeps it cohesive week after week after week. If, you know, the gym is always pink and your classes are always green, you can kind of see how your day progresses through that. So I'm going to go ahead and do time blocking, and how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to pick a handful of different colors. So let's see, I need 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 different colors. So let's see, we've got, I'm going to just use these mild liners, by the way. So we've got 1, 2, 3. I kind of want pretty colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So how I like to, how I like to color code, talking and like working at the same time is hard sometimes. Keep in mind that some pens don't like to be highlighted over. So if you're gonna do like some sort of highlight method or like markers or anything, make sure your pen works with highlighting, because sometimes they'll smear. And if it is a pen that's gonna smear, you can always highlight first and then write over it. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. One pen that I do love if you wanna write first and then highlight is this Micron pen. It's amazing. I will say I do live in a dry climate. I'm over here in Colorado, so it's very, very dry here. I've had people be like, I highlight over Microns all the time, and sometimes it smears. I feel like if maybe you're in a humid climate, I have no idea. It works for me. I'm still gonna say proceed with caution, use a back page, test it out. Yes, this is my warning. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna start highlighting, and then we'll go over it once I'm done. Okay, so there's the color blocking style, and you can kind of see, at least with both, I left white space in between. That just makes it easier for your eye to see each individual block of time instead of smushing it all together. Obviously, I get some people have way crazier schedules than this, but I just think personally it looks better with it being a little bit broken up. So if you're doing this and you're like, oh my gosh, it just looks like a color like disaster, try leaving some white space, and that'll break it up and make it look a little bit better. You can also combine these. Obviously, you can draw little boxes around all of your colors, or just color code the outlines of the boxes. I mean, the options are endless to customize this. This is just a very basic blocks, adding color. So our next one is going to be journaling, which is another fun way to use your passion planner. I really like using this when I'm on vacation, because I usually don't have, you know, any sort of schedule besides, you know, any big events that are going on. So I like to journal, you know, what I did when I was on vacation, what we ate, what was the best part, you know, the little gems of going on vacation. And then when you look back on it, after a couple months, you're like, oh my gosh, remember that like one little hole in the wall restaurant we ate at? So that's journaling. Journaling is a little bit of a struggle. I'll just tell you that right now. So one thing that definitely helps is stickers. There's a couple that I like. I like this journaling one, and I also like this essential planning. These are both from the Happy Planner sticker collection. There's also a memory planning one, which is really fun for, again, when you're on vacation. So I'm gonna flip through these really quick. I'm also going to open up my personal journal, because that's what's gonna help me fill this spread. Okay, so there is the basic journaling. I realized that like as far as a daily journal, I've never really used the weekly spread as a journal. There are some really great Instagram followers that just rock this layout. One of them is my girl Plan with Shan. She does an amazing job using her weekly fashion planner as a journal. She gets super creative with it. There's lots of color, lots of highlighting, stickers. They're just absolutely gorgeous spreads. So I will link her Instagram channel if you want to go check her out, if this is a style that you'd be interested in. It's something that, yeah, like I said, I only really do on vacation. And then once I like stop to actually do this, it's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to write about? I do use my Passion Planner daily as a journal. It's part of my Miracle Morning routine. You've probably seen that so far. That's something that I like to do in the morning. So I just kind of took some notes on the book that I'm reading. So I just kind of copied what I wrote in my journal, which was a couple of quotes from the book, and then what I kind of journaled about at the end of the night. So that's the journaling layout. It's definitely a fun one, and you could do, yeah, some fun lettering or different colors and add some stickers and really make it really creative. I just kind of went basic because that's how I was feeling right now. So next up we have, where's my list? Time tracking. There's my list. And time tracking is kind of a fun one, and it's something that I've been trying to do a little bit more of, where you really just track every minute of every day what you're doing. I'm doing it mixed with color coding because color, that's what I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of pull out a pen, and how I like to time track, I'm trying to see, I'm being very picky about my rulers right now. So how I like to time track is I like to just draw a line right along the hourly timeline. And that's what I'm going to use to kind of color code. I hope that it's kind of straight. It's a little crooked. Oh well. And that's what I'm going to use to color code my times. So I'm just going to kind of draw. My light just went out. That's okay. I think it's still bright enough. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of draw a line, like I said, and this is what I'm going to use to kind of color code. So like I said, I'm basing this schedule off of a schedule I've already done, so I can kind of cheat a little bit and fill this out ahead of time. But as you would go throughout your day, you'd kind of block things off, like, okay, got up at 7, you know, and then I did like my Miracle Morning, and I filled out my planner, and like I did some morning stuff, you know, from 7 to 9, and then from 9 to 10:30 I did some work, sort of like that. And you're just gonna fill it out as the day progresses, so you can really see, oh, you know, from 6:30 to 7 I just, you know, sat on my phone on Instagram for 2 hours or an hour. Like, cool, I can't get that time back. It's just an interesting way to see how you actually spend your time, because it's something that you're filling out as you're going. And you can see like, oh my gosh, why did I take so long to get ready today? Like, oh, this is why I didn't get any work done. Like, oh, I took that 4-hour nap. Was that the best use of my time? Or, I mean, maybe you needed a nap. I'm not gonna say no to a good nap. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish filling this out. Okay, so there is time tracking. What I love about time tracking, at least if you do it this way, where you just kind of have a skinny little color bar along the side, is there's room for notes. You can write in what you did or whatever, but it's also a good opportunity if you have multiple things going on. If you have, you know, 3 kids, you're trying to keep track of their schedules too. It gives you the space to kind of overlap schedules. There are a lot of questions, at least in the Facebook group, like how do I manage multiple schedules? You can have different bars of colors to track everyone's different schedules, if that makes sense. But it is a fun way just to see how you spend your day and, you know, how you can improve. I mean, this is a goal planner after all. So next up, we are going to do to-do lists. One of my favorites. And I'm gonna do a simpler version because the last spread, this Sunday spread, I'm gonna show you stickers. So I figured we'll just kind of keep it simple and then go ham on Saturday. So how I like to do my to-do list, and I'm gonna cheat on one of my old planner spreads because my brain's getting a little bit fried just from doing all these different spread styles. I'm like, what am I doing? So yes, I'm gonna show you how to do this. How I do my to-do list, and the reason I do to-do lists is, like I said earlier, I work from home. So the hourly timeline doesn't really apply to me majority of the time. And if it does, it's usually things that are consistent and they're at the same time every week. So blocking off that time in my planner, it doesn't help me, it doesn't hurt me. So that's why I use to-do list style, and the reason I use Passion Planner is I do like all the lines. I like seeing my week at a glance or my week overview. You know, the Happy Planner and the Erin Condren, they're just the squares. There's no lines. I need lines. And then sometimes, you know, I do throw in a time tracking or a color blocking. And I mean, there's plenty of reasons to use the Passion Planner, and I just use it for to-do lists. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Okay, so there's a very basic way in how I use to-do lists. So I do like to color code them, just that keeps everything a little bit more organized. And yeah, I just write down my to-do lists and check them off, and that's really how I use my planner. I'll definitely show you like a full Chelsea style spread once we get to Saturday, but that's just the basics. And the nice part is again, you can kind of combine these together. So for example, a lot of people who work 9-to-5 jobs, they feel bad blocking if they do, you know, color coding or boxes or whatever. They feel bad blocking off that 9-to-5 section. They're like, that's like half my planner. Like, I'm wasting it. So you can fit in those to-do lists with your blocking. You just block off that time, and then you can fit in to-do lists, even if it's not necessarily work related. You can fit in little goals that you have, just block off when you're working, and fit in, you know, what you ate for lunch if you're trying to watch what you're eating, or what you're currently reading, or a podcast you're listening to, or anything like that. You can fill it in with that space. Or if you work a 9-to-5, you don't even you know when you work. You don't have to block it off. You can fill it in with to-do lists or whatever other tasks you have, because you know that's when you're working. It's not necessarily required that you have to put it in your planner. So using a to-do list is just a different way to utilize this space for what you need it for. So Saturday, we're going to get a little bit more creative with Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, I want to introduce lettering and how you can use lettering techniques to just kind of spruce up your spread. Obviously, if you're new to lettering or you've never lettered, this can definitely be a little intimidating. I didn't really get into lettering until I got into planning, and it does take a lot of practice. I'm going to say that right now, but there's plenty of YouTube videos, worksheets on Pinterest. I mean, there's free classes out there that will teach you how to letter, and it just really takes practice. And what better way to practice than in your planner? So I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a time blocking mixed with lettering, just to kind of show you how you can incorporate lettering into your planner, besides just me being like, letter. So let's do like a little mock spread of lettering. One of my favorite pens to letter with is this Micron pen. I do prefer felt tip pens, that's hard to say, for lettering, just because it's a little bit more smooth. If you use like a gel pen or a ballpoint pen, sometimes it can skip, and I don't know, it's just not as smooth to write as a felt tip pen. Okay, so here is how I used lettering in this spread. I just kind of wrote in what I did, basically like I did with these other spreads, but obviously in a script handwriting. And then I color coded them based on the colors that we had, and just kind of drew lines, at least for the test, that took longer chunks of time. And that's just a fun way that you can add lettering. You can obviously add it in with any of these styles. All these styles kind of mush together and play nicely with each other. So you can really use them however you please. So for Sunday, I'm going to show you just a full, what I like to call functional glam spread. It's usually how I plan. Of course, I'm going to use stickers, and that's how I plan. I use stickers. So I just pulled out a couple of the stickers that I like to use. So I've gone ahead and placed out my Miracle Morning sticker. Let's see. Next, I'm going to do a work sticker. Actually, I'm going to kind of do this differently because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm all in using the timeline right now because that's what I've been using. I'm like, that's not how I plan. I need to switch gears. Using different layouts is a little tricky. It's playing games on my brain. So I would have picked a different color so it wouldn't be yellow on yellow, but that's what we have going on. So next I'm going to lay out a little fitness sticker because I just like keeping that all together, because when I do go to use my work, I just want to have the space for work. So for work, what I like to do is I like to use these little work stickers, and then I use washi tape to kind of block off my schedule. So I'll just kind of block off. So it's kind of a form of time blocking, but using washi tape instead. Washi tape, it's just fun and it's pretty and it adds fun patterns and textures. I mean, there's like glitter washi tape, and it's just, I don't know, again, it makes me look at my planner. So I put down some washi tape, and then I'm just going to take a little work sticker and put it right on top. And then one thing I do like to do is I do like to keep track of what I eat. Just food journaling's something that keeps me on task and keeps me on my goals, because if I don't write it down, then I'm going to forget, and then I'm going to think I had like a really awesome week, and then I'll be like, oh no, Chelsea, look, you had hamburgers 5 days in a row. So that's what I like to do. And then I also love using the Happy Planner sticker books because they're fun. And I found this really cute little like family dinner sticker, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's perfect because I went out to dinner with Ian's family that night. So I'm going to lay that down, and then I'm just going to kind of fill this in really quick so you can see what it looks like filled in. Okay, and that's how a typical day looks in my planner using stickers, using my stickers and then the Happy Planner stickers. Okay, so this is a full week of 7 different layouts. Look at that. You know, I feel like this is what I should do every week, just 7 different layouts for every single day. It definitely was a little bit of a challenge. My brain feels a little mushy, but that's okay. So yeah, I hope this inspires you to try different layouts in your planner spread, and let me know in the comments below, what planner style do you use? Does it have a specific name? That was the hardest part. I'm like, what do I call all of these? Again, my favorite is of course Saturday, but I do love using the different layouts for different times. They all have their purposes. So let me know in the comments below what style you use, and of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment because it really does help my channel grow. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!